everyone, and welcome to Deliciously Creepy.
Okay.
My name is Andrea, and with me it's my brother Emilio, and today we have a true crime episode for you.
Yeah, so we're going to start working on this little different outset for everybody. So we're using now two computers and everything, so the quality is better. And yeah, so this time we're going to see true crime, and we're actually going to go to the north. So yeah, can you start?
The military officer looked at the scene disgusted. In front of him was the body of a 45-year-old woman savagely beaten, the head, mauled by a stone which was nearby, stained with the blood of the victim. The woman was lying under a pile of stones. Another officer approached him with a shredded passport in his hands. Victoria Valkovskaya, he said seriously. She is the mother of one of the recruits. The officer looked at him seriously while exhaling smoke from his cigar. Let's go back to Kamenka.
So this time we're going to go to Russia. Today is Russia, right? When this story happened in the 80s, late 80s, middle 80s, I think it's more precise, it was still known as the Soviet Union.
Okay.
And it's a little bit important because this case, a short case, happened in two modern states nowadays that are Ukraine and Russia. So, since the end of May 1986, the Central Directorate of Internal Affairs of the Leningrad Regional Executive Committees received 3 reports about the disappearance of 3 women on their way to the village of Kamenka. This village is in the north, completely on the north, like in the European side, very close to Finland. So in this village of Kamenka, it's near to where the 138 Guards Motor Rifle Brigade of Leningrad was located. All the missing women were relatives of recruits from the military unit stationed there. Initially, it was believed that the women disappeared on their way back to Kamenka, that is this village close to this, where these military men are stationed. But the investigation soon led to a witness who saw one of the missing women walking away from a checkpoint with a man dressed in a soldier's uniform.
Okay, so it was someone that was like a recruit there.
Yeah, a soldier. So someone recruited there. And of course, this led to the assumption, as you all said now, that the women's abductor was a soldier.
And not a monster.
Yeah, no.
Or an evil spirit.
The little spirit is its name. So in addition to, of course, I think the names are one part that is very important. You know that press tends to make these names.
Yeah. So more people read the story.
I don't know why. Really, I don't know why. So, in addition to dairy agents and criminologists from the Central Directorate of Internal Affairs, employees of special departments of military units located in Kamenka also participated in the investigation. So everybody was there. And this is a great leap. I don't know if you have seen this movie that is called Child 43.
No.
It's with Tom Hardy. and it's a very good movie about an abductor of like a kidnapper of kids. He was a serial killer. Child 44, sorry. With Tom Hardy, Noomi Rapace, Joel Kinnaman, Gary Oldman. And it's a very good movie that is set in these 40s, even a little bit later 50s, Soviet Union, where the same state was saying there cannot be murder in the Soviet Union because it's the best place to live, and it's like we have reached the nirvana of, of social standards and whatever.
That sounds a little bit like this movie that we saw that it's called Suspiria, that it's like about these ballerinas, and like they go to a ballet academy, and there it started like to happen like
disappearances.
Yes. But like the police officers and stuff, they are like, no, that's impossible because we live in this perfect society.
Yeah.
And so on.
Exactly. So it's like that, and and it's very Soviet, like Soviet communism was faulty on these ideas. But now we see that towards the end of communism in Europe, and mid 80s, this has changed, right? We see a lot of people there that will go and try to solve this mystery.
But there were like only 3 women, like they were only 3 of them. So why it was like a big deal? Because of that? Because they believe that they have like a perfect society. So, oh my God, 3 people being murdered, that can happen, or?
Yeah, and also because we're talking about soldiers. You need to have them happy. Also, if missing people are related to them.
Oh yeah, because they were the mothers, right? So obviously
the wives, yeah.
Okay. So obviously, like the relatives are going to be the first ones to notice that their relative is missing.
Yeah. So also because they are soldiers, you need to have them happy, as I said before. And maybe someone with a lot of power inside, or someone who knows someone. The thing is that at the end of the day, they send this amount of people, and the investigation would open a sewer in which members of the army were involved in rampant corruption. Not surprised there. But this sewer was mostly about stolen goods and the diversion of resources. A murderer was the icing on the cake they were missing. The army criminal team got to work, and the first thing they did was to find out who the guards at the military checkpoint had been between April and May. So pretty standard, right? You see this person in a checkpoint, leading this woman into the forest. So let's see which guys were there at that moment, between the months we have the missing people. So it's, I think, standard. Not only did they got their names, but they would also investigate if they had committed sexual crimes in the past. And, well, they did not only investigate the personnel of the base, but also the inhabitants of Kamenka who look suspicious. Because it's also possible that the person had stolen a uniform.
Yes, true.
Because I think that has happened before, right? With certain, like John Gacy, we know he dressed as a cop.
Yes.
So in that sense, yeah. In June 1986, the army began to rake the surrounding forests. More than 500 soldiers assisted in the search tasks daily. In a territory of 70 square kilometers plus an investigation of Lake Krasavitsa, which measures 17 square kilometers. So it's huge, where divers search the bottom of the lake. So yeah, so they sent divers, they rake all of this forest that is huge, and thanks to the search they will find the body of 45-year-old Viktoria Vikovskaya, the mother of one of the base's recruits, Within a radius of 200 meters, they found the victim's blood-stained clothing and her passport in pieces.
Oh god.
And so forensic doctors will find that Vikovskaya had been raped while still alive and had been killed by multiple blows to the head with a strong object.
Yes.
Which turned out to be a big rock that they will find in the vicinity of the body. The rock still had her blood. Not only that, but also the culprit had tried to hide the body under a pile of stones, something that made investigators doubt if it was a solitary murderer or if, on the contrary, it was several culprits. So we have this very savage murderer. You know, they raped a woman and they also hit her with a stone
Yes.
in the head until dying. So that's crazy.
And why the murderer didn't destroy the passport somewhere else? Because you said that he almost destroyed the bodies, right? The head with the rock, probably because he didn't want to that the other people knew the identity of the victim, but why leave the passport there?
Well, still they will know who they were, because at that time you also have fingerprints, you also have DNA. So, well, DNA, no. It was still very... No, but you have fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
So they will still know who she was.
Okay.
I think this person is more of a... he attacks in the moment.
Yeah, it's not planned.
It's not planned.
Okay.
So the first suspects were the base's boiler room workers, who kept two underage girls as sex slaves in their work area, not only raping both of them, but also selling them out to anyone willing to give a few rubles. They were the logical culprits. The fact that other women disappeared just like these girls, whom they had kidnapped from their nefarious intentions, did not seem unreasonable.
Yes.
But apparently that was not the case. The investigation will later focus on two men, one from Armenia and the other from Dagestan, who tried to rob a truck, but would say that it was a matter of life and death, something that made investigators think that they were the culprits. It could be that they used the truck to remove the bodies from the base facilities. So as you see, we have from sex slaves inside the place to the base to these guys. But the matter of life or death turned out to be something rather banal. They were going to use the truck to transport themselves to the construction of a summer house, and they did want to tell their companions so that they will not have to rent a car. But it will be these two who will give crucial information for the investigation. They will give the name of the driver who was involved in the sale of stolen items, Igor Chernat. The man was questioned and will confess to all his misdeeds, but they were just that. He admitted to forging an entry on a military ticket regarding the award of the rank of sergeant major, the theft of a night vision device, theft of a winter coverall with fur, the presence of a mistress in the village of Kamenka, and that he repeatedly went AWOL while bringing alcoholic beverages to the base after his escapades.
So it was like a meaner thief.
Yeah, escapades. So yeah, he was a minor thief, as you say. He was not, apparently. In what would seem like another idiot within the army who took advantage of his small pedestal of power to earn money as a smuggler, the gods hit their target without realizing it. The next day, Chernat will flee to Odessa, a short trip of 1,599 kilometers.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah, that's crazy lot. Something that made all the efforts of the army investigators focus on him. Because yeah, it's like saying, oh yeah, basically you are admitting guilty.
Yeah, you don't run away just because.
And not that distance. So the army officers contacted the authorities of Odessa, which not only were alert in case they saw the deserter, but also notified their family and friends, who upon learning the reasons for which they were looking for him, the disappearance and murder of the three women, they would not accept him with welcoming arms.
Sure, yes.
But they wouldn't give him away either. So they were like, okay, we're not accepting you into our places, but also we're not going to give you,
Yeah.
So you're on your own.
Yeah.
Shernat will be left without the ability to obtain a false passport, and money began to run out in September 1986. That's what? A few months, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, a few months later, September 1986, he will turn himself into the authorities, who will take him to Leningrad, where he will confess everything. And the reality was worse than expected. The killer told them where he had hidden the bodies of the three women and explained how he used rocks he found in the woods to kill them. He spoke of his first victim, who was killed in November 1985 when he was in a training camp. No information on this case was revealed, so we only know that he killed someone in November 1985. In March 1986, 5 months later, 4, depends, her second victim, Yevgenia Nazarova, fell into the hands of Shernat. Nazarova was married to a soldier who was at the base as part of the medical team. She had gone to visit her husband. At the checkpoint, Shernat intercepted her. He would offer to accompany her and took her to the forest where he would kill her with a fishing line. So I think he's more like, he doesn't plan. He sees opportunities.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's planned like 100%.
No, he just sees a woman and it's like, okay, I'm gonna just escort her out and rape her and kill her.
Yeah, but of course he's planning it, but it's not like a big plan ahead.
Yes.
And it's not like very elaborate. He improvises, I think, in the run. His third murder will happen in mid-April, just a month after Nazarova's murder. The victim was Victoria Vikovskaya. As we told you before, she was the first victim to be found. She was the mother of a recruit who was at the base, like Nazarova. She visited her son at the base to bring him food. After her visit, Shernat will intercept her at the checkpoint again. So, I think that the problem is that because you need literally to pass him to get through.
Yes, yes. So obviously he's going to be aware of which people visits and yes.
So that gives him an upper hand because he knows who comes alone, who goes along,
of
what
course.
time, blah blah.
And also he started killing like in a shorter amount of time, right?
Yeah. He started killing like once every month or a few weeks between them. I think it's more because months, like once every 3 weeks, and just because a month is 4 weeks, it's one monthly, but not.
Yes.
Yeah. So when he started to where he ended, it was like 6 months, 7 months. The last victim and the one for which he was caught was Elena Ivanova, the wife of a soldier. That was the moment when one of the soldiers saw Shernat with Ivanova.
Yes.
The witness did not know who the soldier was because they looked him probably from afar, but he saw the uniform, how he accompanied her while they were going to the forest. It is known that one of these women was pregnant. Not only that, but also that this animal stole its victims' belongings and sold them in a nearby market in the city of Viborg. And in the end, the Leningrad District Military Court sentenced the Maniac to the maximum penalty, death by firing squad. So actually, that was another one of his 2 nicknames. One was the evil spirit of Kaukjarvi. Kaukjarvi is the area.
Yes.
And the other one was the Maniac of Kamenka.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Wow. So basically, it was because of this guy that saw him from a distance that the people caught him, right?
Yeah, but I think it was going to happen eventually,
Yeah. Well,
because
yeah.
it's a very open modus operandi,
Yes.
where they kidnap people literally in the front entrance of the base, where
Yeah,
you have
that's true.
locks, you have probably cameras, you have everything there. So it was going to happen in one point or another that they were going to see like, hey, this dude
Yes.
is the one who's always taking the moms, you know?
Yes.
Even if they don't have cameras, they're going to see him as it happened.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah. In October 1987, Igor Chernat was taken to the scaffold. He stood in front of a group of soldiers who did not hesitate to shoot. This is how the life of the evil spirit of Kaukjarvi ended. A monster who did not hesitate to abuse those closest to his comrades in arms, betraying the brotherhood of the army. So that's the story of Igor Chernat. What do you think about it?
Well, like every true crime case, it's horrible, and I feel sorry for the victims and the relatives, because imagine that your girlfriend or your mom comes and visits you, and then you don't know from them for a while, then they appeared murdered, and then turns out that one of your, how do you say it,
Brother in arms.
yeah, brother in arms kills them. Well, that's
Yeah, but also it shows, first of all, what they found there. You know, the sex slaves, the
true.
the stealing of goods,
Yes.
that they were sending money to other places. You know.
Yeah, it was like a mafia.
Yeah, and I think we have seen that even today.
Yes.
You look at the news and we know that the Russian army is still diverting money to other places, so it's still the same. This killer was, yeah. What we know, we don't know that much of this case. It's a case that it's in Russian. First of all, there's not that much information out there.
Yes.
Also because it was in the army, right? We don't have that much info, and still it's a lot of info. Thinking that it was an army inside affair, but one of the things that we know about him is that he grew up in Odessa. That's why he ran to Odessa afterwards.
Yes.
He studied there, you know, his high school, and then from high school he went to this place, to the army, and when he was being a recruit, he murdered someone, and then he kept on going. So
Yeah.
he was 19 or 20 years old, we don't know very well,
Oh God.
when he was killed. And he was killed 1 year later, so he was doing this when he was 18, 19 years old.
That's horrible.
Yep. So yeah, and as I said before, it happened very quickly, right? November 85, he was cuffed in April of the next year, 86.
Oh God. Yeah. That's why I keep on saying, like, don't trust anyone. Like,
Oh yeah, but this guy was going to do it anyways, 6 months.
yes,
In 6 months he started doing that, so yeah.
that's horrible. You never know when you're going to get close to a crazy person.
Exactly. And I think that is the thing, these people were shown up to see their family.
Yes.
And
Yeah, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, literally. Like,
yeah, their only mistake was to trust this guy. But I don't think, like, they didn't have any. Why would they mistrust him? Even if it could be that he had done it before, like accompany them, gain their trust, and then they did the killing,
Yeah, that could happen. Like, oh my God.
So yeah, that could be. We don't know.
And we'll never know.
And we'll never know because that guy is dead, and this information probably is in Russian somewhere in St. Petersburg, and we're not going to go there. So
Yes. Well, that was really nice. Well, not nice, but like it was an interesting case.
yeah, a short one. So
Yes.
we keep things simple, and then we can go to bigger stuff that requires more investigation. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here with us today. Let us know in the comment section below what do you think. Let us know what kind of murders or paranormal activity thingies that you want us to talk about. And you can also follow us on our social media that we are going to also leave the link in the description box below. And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
So, well,
Bye.